Holmes Road is. I had no idea there was a dump on that road. If it was or is, it's apparently it's no longer there. This dump, located in a predominantly black neighborhood, was symbolic of the city's policy of placing landfills in segregated areas. Holmes Road is a historic it's a historic area that is still a overwhelmingly black area also, still to this day. In response, TSU students and environmental activists staged a sit-in on May 15th demanding the closure of the dump, leading to dozens of arrests by Houston police. Now, Holmes Road is, think now it's not near TSU. So the incident of the kid drowning was on May 8th, and they staged the sit-in about a week later. Hmm. I'm thinking about 1967 and how information traveled, the speed that information traveled at. We did have telephones, of course. Um, I don't think we had call waiting. I don't think we had cell phones then. We definitely did not have social media. And so maybe it took a little while for the information to travel around about the death of Victor George, the 11-year-old. Tensions escalated when the TSU administration responded to students' protests against poor conditions and the removal of the Friends of SNCC chapter from campus by collaborating with police to issue an arrest warrant for a student organizer. Now, remember SNCC, that is Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and these were Friends of SNCC, so I'm assuming that, now I've heard of these different chapters on campuses, Friends of SCLC. I've heard of these historically in reading books about the era. Um, so students demands included better food, lifting early curfews, introduction of engineering and technology courses, hmm, of which they have right now to this day, higher faculty salaries, disarmament of campus police, removal of the campus dean from the local draft board, a student court for disciplinary cases, and dropping charges against students activists. Hmm. On the night of May 16, 1967, Houston police blockaded the TSU campus in response to these civil rights protests. This led to a severe clash. Students threw rocks and bottles at the police, and the police responded by firing an estimated 3,000 to 5,000 rounds into Lanier Dormitory, where students had barricaded themselves. The police raid resulted in the largest mass arrests in Houston history, with 488 students detained. During the incident, Houston police officer Louis Cuba was killed, and two other officers were wounded. The aftermath of the raid saw the arrest of 5 TSU students known as the TSU 5 on charges of inciting a riot, assault, and the murder of Officer Cuba. However, it was later concluded that Cuba likely died from a ricocheting police bullet. Well, if you're firing 3,000 to 5,000 rounds into a dormitory, I mean, come on now. I mean, that is just ridiculous. That's outrageous. 5,000 rounds? Oh my gosh. In 1970, the charges against the TSU 5 were dismissed due to insufficient evidence. This event highlighted the deep racial divides in Houston and the broader United States during the Civil Rights Movement. The incident led to the establishment of the Community Relations Division in the Houston Police Department in 1968 to foster better dialogue and relations with the community. The TSU riot remains a poignant reminder of the struggles and resistance against systemic racism and police violence. Wow. I'm just thinking about now in Houston Police Department, they have something that is called PAL officers, which are they are community officers that are located in certain areas. They are all the officers are assigned to an area and a school district, and they usually have different programs about leadership and police. And now I actually know a PAL officer personally. um, a good friend of mine that we grew up with. We know a PAL officer who was our PAL officer growing up. We knew him in the community. He's now the chief of police now of Houston Police Department. He's the chief now. He was a PAL officer. We know him on a first name basis. He was very, very involved in the community, and not I didn't I knew him personally, but I didn't know him from a school campus. I knew him my from the neighborhood apartments. He was one of the officers that patrolled the area, and he had played a significant role in my mom's life, my brother's. He knew my mom on a first name basis. My brother had got into some stuff, and he was one of the officers that was there that told the other officers, or he gave a command to the other officers to put down their weapons, to not shoot, because he knew my brother. He actually said, I know that kid. They were just some stuff had happened with my uncle, a story for another day. But my brother just ran around the corner. We stayed in the same apartments with my uncle, and my brother ran around the corner to check up on my uncle because we hadn't seen him in a while. And he noticed some glass was broken and the window was broken, and my brother was standing out there, picking up the glass, trying to figure out, like, where's my uncle? Why is the window broken? And it's about 10 or 15 officers, they just all came out of nowhere, screaming commands to my brother. Freeze, move, don't move, put it down, don't move, put it down. And he had glass in his hand, and he put his hands up, dropped the glass, and it splattered and broke everywhere. And that was the glass he was picking up from the floor, from the ground, from the window. And every single officer, I think he said it was about 15 officers all surrounding the apartment, but he was on the second floor. They were all down on, ground level. And he just looked around. I think he said he didn't turn around, but he looked around, moved his head around, and he saw about 10 or 15 officers, all with their guns pointed at him. And he saw all kind of guns. He said he saw shotguns. He saw, just hand weapons. He saw every kind of weapon you can think of. And this is from him just taking a short glance. Mind you, my brother played basketball, so he was very much aware of peripheral vision. He could see with slightly moving. But they were all surrounding him with their guns drawn, pointed towards him. And he said he remembered hearing someone say, "Wait, that's a kid." And he said, "Yeah, I'm a kid. I think he was 13 or 14. He said, "I'm 13 or something." He just screamed out, I'm a kid. I'm only 13." And he told an officer, he heard an officer say, "Wait, hold your fire. Wait, I know that kid. I know that kid." And he heard officer walk up the stairs, come up behind him. My brother was frozen. He did not move. And the police officer came up and he said, where apartment you stay in?" And my brother told him, "I stay around the corner in 1701. That was our apartment number. He said, "I stay around the corner in 1701. He said, "I know you. Are you, I think he either called my mom Niecy or Cynthia. I don't remember. I think he said Niecy. Are you Niecy's boy?" And he said, "Yeah, that's my mom." And he said, "Okay, come with me." And he said, I'm put you in handcuffs because we standing up. We've been watching this apartment. We've been waiting on people coming in and out. He said, "I'm going to put you in handcuffs and put you in the back of the car, and I'm going to take you around to your mom." And my brother was just frozen. He was just like, "Okay." And my mom, he drove him around in the police car. My brother was in the back seat in handcuffs. He brought him to my mom. He knocked on the door. Thank God my mom was there. I don't know why she was there. I don't remember. Because she's normally at work. But that time she wasn't at work because she sent my brother around there because she hadn't heard from my uncle. So she told my brother, "Go around there and see if your uncle is there. He's not answering the phone and I haven't heard from him." So she was there. He brought him back home. And we were inside the house, but we all came out and peeked our head out the door. And I think I was looking out the window like, what the fuck is this? What happened? Somebody's delivering my brother to my mom in a police car. And we saw my brother get out. And we saw the officer remove the handcuffs from my brother. My brother had his head down, had his eyes closed. He just could not look up. And the officer took the handcuffs off him and he just patted him on the shoulder. He said, "It's okay, man. I'm bringing you home. You going home. It's all right. You going home." And my brother just started crying like, I wasn't doing nothing. And of course, we just saw the police bringing him home. And we just knew my brother did something. And, of course, we his younger siblings, so we just like, "Oh, he in trouble." Like, the police came, and the police don't normally come around to our house. And so just us seeing that, that was something that was a really, really big deal. But it was also different because we just knew that he was in trouble. But he brought him around, brought him back home, and he gave my mom his card. And he said, "If you have any problems or you have any issues, just give me a call. If he get into any trouble or anything, give me a call." And my mom kept his card, and he said, "I'll be checking up on him, make sure he all right and he not into no trouble or nothing." And she was like, "Okay." And my mom was so apologetic. She was like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I didn't know. I sent him around there." She was just so distraught over that because when my brother told her about what happened, which The officer also explained to my mom what happened. He told her.